I disturbed them, so she's moving around on the slick plastic where she doesn't move too easily. It's hard for her to move, crawl on the plastic, but she's doing alright. Some mantis species do horribly on plastic, especially when they're larger. When they're heavier, it's harder for them. I'm going to feed these two because they're skinny. You can see it, their abdomens. They're kind of skinny. They're not that too skinny, but I could wait a few days. But I'm going to feed them anyway. So, they're not going to molt soon. You can see their wing buds are not swollen, just barely if it is. So maybe it's going to take a week or longer before they molt. If you kept it warm temperatures, cool temperatures might take several weeks or a few weeks. Not sure. Flattening it out a little bit, or actually no, not really. Let's see if I can somehow get a roach right in front of her in the right place so that she'll grab it before it runs away. I'm going to give a small Turkestan roach. Alright, she's looking at the camera. I want her to focus so she can catch this immediately. There we go. Let's drop it. Darn it. She won't be able to catch it out of there, probably not. But you can see her react to it. She might try to catch it. Got it. That was quick. Okay, is she scared of me or something? Why is she not eating well? These guys don't seem to be used to eating roaches. She's thrown up all over here. See, now that's why I feed her so little. That's why I try to feed them Parasteatoda-like spiders, house spiders that make cobwebs, not the wolf spiders or jumping spiders, which are maybe stronger or are more able, and they can hurt the mantis easier. I'm thinking they could. They have big mandibles, or big fangs, the wolf spiders and jumping spiders. But the Parasteatoda or the house spiders that make those cobwebs are, I think, weaker. They have large abdomens. They're a lot of food for the mantis. They don't throw up after they eat those, so I fed them those. But now I've run out of house spiders, so I'm feeding them Turkestan roaches again. They seem to have, if I feed them a little bit at a time, they do alright. This female's particularly sensitive, so she's thrown up a whole lot. Some females are not sensitive, and one female can just keep on eating the roaches I give her, but sometimes she will reject them. But she hasn't thrown up yet, or just a little bit, and just once or so. If she did, because I don't remember her throwing up. She's an adult green female, darkish green colored female that's not so sensitive to the roaches, eating the roaches. You can also feed her them blue butterflies, another breeder, Araya from California, is feeding blue butterflies. I think she did well with them, I'm guessing. She told me about that. She just fed them blue butterflies, so maybe this species is particularly sensitive to the roaches, eating roaches and stuff. Okay, let's feed the other female. Move this female out of the way. See, she doesn't. She is not eating as well when I disturb her. Okay. There's a brown female. She does alright. She's only thrown up a little bit with feeding her Turkestan roaches. I wonder if the American roaches or different species of roach would keep them from throwing up so much. She's oh darn it. Oh, okay, good. She's frozen because she's looking at me. they're a slightly larger roach. Turkish roach also. I wonder if lobster roaches would be better for them, because I've only fed them American roaches and Turkish roaches much. I've fed them lobster roach a few times. Okay, drop it. There we go. I squished it a little bit, so I'm guessing it's a little injured and won't seize it. No, it doesn't. Okay, get it up again. It's on my finger, and now it's on the mesh. It is injured, so it's moving slowly. I don't want it to go back in there. It's hard to get it out. Now let's go. No, why are you going that way? Okay, it's because it's injured. It's acting a bit weird, going around in circles. The mantis on the glass. Now the roach. The glass is dusty. I'll have to clean it soon. Darn it! I'm scared it. This is going to be hard. Alrighty, let's feed her. She got it. Great, the first try. See how aggressive they are. If you feed them, if you stress them out and try to feed them too much, keep their food in there too long, they won't eat like this. They will not eat it. And if you're around them, that also, these species are timid with humans, but not when you starve them for a while or just not feed them for 1 or 2 days. In about 2 days, they'll eat eagerly if you leave them alone for 2 days, and if there are enough places for them to hold on to, they won't be stressed out so bad, like a piece of stick or mesh fabric of the lids. Just slick plastic, I guess they could do alright, but not too well. Of course they'll need a rough surface to molt, go through ecdysis. It's another word for it. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But if you slick plastic, they won't be able to do that. They'll die. Also, you shouldn't disturb them while they're molting. You could a little bit if you're really careful. Keep them from falling off the thing they're molting from. If you're careful, gentle, you could do that. I do that to take pictures of them while molting and to take videos of them while molting. But if you're not skilled at it, or if you have if you have shaky hands, I wouldn't try it. No, it's not too hard. You could do it. Yeah, you could open the lid while they're molting if you're careful. If you're really careful, do it slow if you do. And if they're molting and their 2 legs are hanging or something, they didn't have a good enough grip, you have to be extra careful. And I wouldn't even try if they're hanging. If you do get them out of the container, to fix that with just if they're hanging from 1 leg on the exuvia, exuvia. How do you? Exuvia. That molt skin, if they're hanging off, they're in the middle of molting, and they're hanging from just 1 or 2 legs, you might want, if you can, keep them from dropping. Don't let them drop at all. While you open the container, that's a Turkish roach running around, feeding container. While they're molting, you have to when you open the lid, you have to open their lid carefully, and then if you open it without dropping, you pull it off, and then use a piece of tape and tape the molting legs onto another surface so they molt upside down or vertically. I would guess upside down is better if you're doing something like that, but they do molt vertically fine if you leave them when they molt naturally. Get a piece of tape and tape their molting skin while they're molting carefully, slowly to another surface, so they're hanging from that. That's just what I read with phasmids or stick insects and stuff like that, leaf insects, but I haven't actually tried it with a mantis. Or actually I have, but not really. I just handled them by holding their molting skins and waited for a short time, and just watched them. So it has worked for me. I would think if tape would be able to stick them to the surface so that they hang upside down, they would molt fine. But if it isn't, if the tape loses grip, loses stickiness, if it comes off, breaks off from the, sticks off from the surface, then if it falls, it's bad. Don't let them fall. You just can't let them fall. something that hurt them. Sometimes they'll live and have some deformities and be able to molt out of those deformities the next time. But next time it will be even harder for them to molt because of the deformities. I'm guessing that would be the case. So just don't let them mismolt. If you have too high humidity, then they'll mismolt because of that, or so for some reason, I don't know why, because of that too much humidity, or just if you miss them, if it's too moist in the container, they'll mismolt. This species gets infection somehow or something, and blackness comes out, ooze comes out of this. It's an abdomen tip for some reason. When I misted them too much and had not enough ventilation, very little ventilation. So now I'm keeping them without misting them. Just occasionally when they do drink, I'll mist slightly in front of them so they'll have a drink. I'll just watch them drink, and then leave them alone for a day or two or longer, and then mist them again. A little bit, not much in the container, just one spot where the mantis is, so I'll watch it drink water and then leave it alone again. They molt fine without misting pretty much. These guys haven't really misted. I misted some adults for them to drink, and when they were younger I would mist them when they would. These guys I haven't misted, I just feed them. I'm guessing they get most of the moisture from their prey, these turkeys and roaches or flies or spiders. Other species you may need, like the Deroblatus lobata. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that either, that name, that scientific name, but those will probably need more misting, and they're probably more tolerant of moisture conditions than these guys. Carolina mantids are tolerant of dryness too. They don't do too well if you mist them like 2 times a day or so. They do well without misting. Actually, the Carolina mantids just occasionally once, every 2 days or so, they do alright. They'll drink a little. Chinese mantids need even more mist. They can't molt when it's really dry. I've kept older nymphs before, and they didn't molt well when I kept them drier without misting. So I think Chinese mantids are less tolerant to dry conditions than Carolina mantids and these guys, these Miomantis binotata. But also the Chinese mantids, if they're kept too moist, they'll die. I've kept them in with substrate in pretty much a container without ventilation, and I gave them too much moisture, they died. Like if there are some small like mist droplets or barely any droplets, even then it's too moist. In those containers without ventilation, the Chinese mantids died. Let's look at the other female. Oh, she's looking at me again because I moved. She's almost done eating. Beautiful. This female's kind of dullish, bluish green instead of a bright green. It's interesting.